When you think of New York City, what comes to mind? Skyscrapers, right? Big dreams, that feeling that anything and everything can happen. But behind all those bright lights and that famous skyline, there's this incredible story of how one city grew into a global powerhouse. So let's break down how it happened.
I mean, it's a huge question, isn't it? How on earth did one single city become, well, the center of the world? That's exactly what we're going to dig into. We're going to look at the key ingredients that took New York from just a busy port to the most influential city on the entire planet.
And you know, the story doesn't really start with money or with massive buildings. Nope, it starts with people. A massive, unprecedented flood of human energy, hope, and just raw ambition.
Just look at this number for a second. 12 million. That's how many immigrants passed through Ellis Island between the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Can you imagine? They arrived with next to nothing in their pockets, but they carried with them this immense hope for a new beginning and an unstoppable drive to make it.
This created an unbelievable melting pot of cultures. We're talking Italian, Irish, Jewish, African, Asian, you name it. But here's the key. This diversity wasn't just a fun fact for a census. It was the actual fuel for the city's creativity, its food, its music, its relentless ambition. This became New York's secret sauce, its foundational power source.
Okay, so you have all this human capital, all this energy, but it needs an engine to power it, right? Well, that engine was finance, and New York was about to become the money capital of the entire world.
And at the very center of it all was, and still is, Wall Street. It became so much more than just a street in Lower Manhattan. It became the symbolic and, frankly, the practical beating heart of the global economy.
The key player here is the New York Stock Exchange. It was founded way back in 1792, and it just grew and grew until, by the 20th century, it completely blew past all its rivals to become the world's biggest and most important financial market. And it's pretty much stayed that way. The economic power concentrated in this one little spot became so immense that its shockwaves were felt literally everywhere. Fortunes were made, fortunes were lost, and whole global economies could swing based on what happened on this one street. It's kind of wild.
So, you've got all this economic power, but you've got to show it off, right? It needs a physical form. And New York decided to express its ambition not just on stock tickers, but by piercing the sky itself.
I mean, just take the Empire State Building. For decades, it stood as the tallest building in the world. That's not just a building. That's a monumental statement about New York's economic might and its incredible engineering skills.
And don't forget the Chrysler Building, with its absolutely stunning Art Deco design. It wasn't just a corporate headquarters. It was a masterpiece, another testament to the city's soaring confidence during the skyscraper revolution.
So you see, in the end, the skyline became more than just a collection of buildings. It became this powerful, universal symbol. It was broadcasting a message to the whole world. This is a place where anything is possible. You can build your dreams just as high as these towers.
But New York's influence goes so far beyond just money and steel. When you get that kind of concentration of diverse talent and immense wealth, well, it was almost inevitable that the city would become a global superpower of culture and ideas.
And the sheer breadth of this influence is just staggering. Broadway became the global gold standard for theater. Harlem shaped world-changing music like jazz and hip-hop. The city's fashion industry started telling the world what was cool, and its media giants like the New York Times and NBC began shaping the news for millions. From art to music, from film to fashion, ideas born in New York just didn't stay there. The city had this unique gravitational pull, turning local trends into global movements. It became the world's great tastemaker.
And that all brings us to today. All these historical forces, the people, the money, the symbols, the culture, they've all converged and solidified New York's power in our modern, connected world.
I mean, just look at who has their headquarters there. You've got the United Nations shaping global politics. You've got the world's most powerful banks shaping finance. And now you have major tech companies and legions of artists and innovators who all feel like they have to be at the center of it all.
This creates this amazing self-reinforcing cycle, Power attracts talent, which creates more power. The city continues to be this giant magnet for the best and brightest from every corner of the planet, making sure its influence is constantly being renewed and recharged.
So let's circle back to our original question and put all the pieces of the puzzle together. How did it happen? What were the real pillars of its power?
It really boils down to these four connected forces:
It started with its people, that incredible engine of diversity and ambition. That fueled its economy, making it the world's financial capital. All that wealth and talent then combined to create a cultural superpower, and the whole thing is held together by this unstoppable, innovative energy that continues to shape our world.
New York's story is definitely unique, but it leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. When we look at any great city, what is it that truly gives it power? Is it the people? The money? The culture? Or maybe something else entirely? Something to chew on.